Senator Young. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ambassador Leaf, you are the administration's point person on the Middle East. How's that working out?
I love my job, Senator.
Have things in the Middle East gotten better or worse since Joe Biden became president?
We have had a series of black swan events, so no doubt the region is in a very difficult state.
Is your answer things have gotten worse?
My answer is that a series of black swan events have crowded upon
Have they gotten better? You're not suggesting things have gotten better,
No,
are you?
I have not.
In fact, they've gotten a lot worse.
That's the nature of black swan.
So it's black swans. You guys had nothing to do with it. It's not mistakes you made. It's just something that happened externally.
Well, I think an assessment of the events of October 7th is still to be done. I can't speak to that.
Okay, so did y'all make any mistakes that led to it?
I'm not sure.
All right, here's one. How about giving hundreds of millions of dollars to the Gaza Strip, much of which ended up in the hands of Hamas? Was that a mistake now that we saw what happened on October 7th?
I'm going to defer to my colleague from USAID. I'm not aware of hundreds of millions of dollars going to Hamas from U.S. coffers.
All right, how about $100 billion to Iran? Was that a mistake?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, Senator.
Today on Capitol Hill, things got heated. Senator Ted Cruz didn't hold back as he grilled the Biden administration's top Middle East official in a fiery exchange that's making waves across the political landscape, from Hamas to Iran. And the question of Israel's security, this one had it all. Stick around as we break down the most jaw-dropping moments, the facts behind the fury, and what it all means for U.S. policy in the Middle East. The moment Ambassador Barbara Leaf, Biden's point person on the Middle East, took the hot seat, Senator Cruz came out swinging. His first question? A blunt assessment of the administration's handling of the region after some hesitation. Leaf admitted things have, in fact, gotten worse, blaming what she called black swan events. But Cruz wasn't buying it, and that set the tone for the rest of the exchange.
Well, you tell me, how much money has this administration flowed to Iran?
We have not flowed money to Iran.
Really?
We have money in accounts that are restricted for humanitarian use only.
And money's not fungible?
This regime will always spend money on these kinds of activities, the proxy activities.
When Joe Biden became president, how much was Iran selling in oil a day?
I don't have that figure for you, Senator.
Of course you don't. The answer is about 300,000 barrels a day. How much is Iran selling in oil a day now?
Somewhere short of 2 million.
So it went from 300,000 barrels a day to 2 million barrels a day. That's about $80 billion that the Ayatollah has made because your administration refuses to enforce oil sanctions.
No, we do enforce oil sanctions.
Well, you do so terribly because the number has increased almost tenfold.
But because of the strictures that we put on, the sanctions that we put on, the targeting that we've done, 230 alone directed towards those who traffic in Iranian oil, that has imposed a heavy cost on Iran, and we estimate that
Wait. You're saying it's a heavy cost. Mm-hmm. They went from 300,000 barrels a day to 2 million barrels a day. Where's the heavy cost? That's an extra 1.7 million barrels a day. That's $80 billion. True or false, 90% of Hamas's funding comes from Iran?
No, not 90%. It is a large, it's
okay, how much is it
amount.
Then?
I don't know at this
Of course, you're in charge of the damn region, and you don't. What do you mean you don't know?
At this exact moment, I can't tell you.
All right, how much of Hezbollah's funding comes from Iran?
Huge amount.
It's about 90%. Both of those are about 90%. Do you think it made the world safer or less safe to take a theocratic lunatic like the Ayatollah who chants death to America and death to Israel and to flow $100 billion? Did that make us more safe or less safe?
The U.S. is not flowing money to Iran, Senator.
What about the $6 billion in hostage payments?
Not a penny has moved.
And money's not fungible? They can't put that up for credit facilities?
Not a penny has moved.
You're where you're under oath?
I am.
And could they put that money up for credit facilities to use money to fund their terror activity?
I'm not sure who would be in the position of lending them money at this point, Senator. We do have plenty of sanctions. Iran is one of the most heavily sanctioned regimes.
But you're not enforcing them. This administration, every lunatic on earth that wants to kill us, this administration gives money to. All right, let me ask you this. Israel has said it is their policy to utterly eliminate Hamas. Does this administration, does President Biden support Israel in its commitment to utterly eliminate Hamas?
Of course.
Of course. Then why are you calling for an immediate ceasefire before they eliminate Hamas?
Israel has accepted that proposal.
No, they have not.
They have.
Is there a ceasefire that's happened?
Hamas has not yet fully accepted
Is there a Israel most certainly has not. I'm aware the Biden administration has told the press that Israel has.
The Israeli leadership.
So I asked you a question. Do you support Israel's military objective of utterly eliminating Hamas? You said yes, and the next sentence you said, but they should cease fire right now and not eliminate Hamas.
No, I agree with the way that the president characterized it, Senator, on May 31st, which is to say that we agree with the objective that Hamas never again control the Gaza Strip or threaten Israel. That will not be achieved by military means alone.
So it's not we said their military objective was to defeat Hamas. So you just said it's impossible to defeat Hamas.
When you
is that
first
right?
posed the question, you said eliminate Hamas.
I said utterly eliminate Hamas. I didn't say over time, not over 1,000 years. I said defeat an enemy because they are murderers who murdered 1,200 people, who raped women and little girls.
It won't be done by military means alone.
Okay, so it is the position of this administration it is impossible by military means to defeat Hamas.
Yes, it is.
Let me ask you, you also want to see, essentially as a reward for October 7th, a Palestinian state.
It's not a reward.
It's not a reward. It just achieves what they want as a benefit for these murders. Let me ask you something. If Hamas is governed by Hamas, if Hamas governs Gaza, how is Israel's safety protected? It's an impressive job, Mr. Chairman. Bang, bang.
Let the witness finish answering the
You
question.
should not be frightened of these questions, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Hamas has never supported a two-state solution. So indeed, a Palestinian state that is negotiated with Israel, that lives in peace side by side
And
with
governed by
Israel,
Hamas.
is not a reward to Hamas. Hamas doesn't support such a thing, does not recognize Israel's right to exist.
Your policy has been an utter disaster.
Cruz didn't waste time digging into where U.S. dollars have gone. He challenged the administration on aid to Gaza, implying that much of it ended up in the hands of Hamas. And then came the big one, Iran. Cruz pointed out that Iran's oil exports skyrocketed under Biden, from 300,000 barrels per day to nearly 2 million. That's tens of billions of dollars potentially funneling into Tehran money. Cruz says is fueling terrorism. Leaf defended the sanctions regime, but the numbers tell a different story. Then came Iran's alleged funding of Hamas. Cruz hit Leaf with a stat claiming 90% of Hamas funding comes from Tehran. Leaf danced around the number. Then, the $6 billion hostage deal surfaced. Cruz asked whether Iran could use those funds for terror through credit facilities. Leaf insisted the money was frozen, but Cruz, visibly frustrated, pushed back hard. This is the part of the video where you'll want to smash that subscribe button if you appreciate detailed breakdowns of what's really happening behind closed doors in Washington. We don't do fluff, we do facts. Let's keep going. Cruz demanded clarity on a crucial issue. Does the Biden administration support Israel's goal to completely eliminate Hamas? Leaf said yes, but added that it couldn't be achieved by military means alone. Cruz saw that as a contradiction, especially since the administration is calling for a ceasefire while Hamas still holds power. This raised serious questions about U.S. priorities. Does supporting Israel mean letting them finish the fight or stepping in with conditions? Cruz wrapped up by accusing the administration of pushing for a Palestinian state as a reward for Hamas' October 7th attacks, a claim Leaf fiercely denied. She emphasized that Hamas doesn't even support a two-state solution, framing the policy as a broader goal for peace, not a concession. But Cruz wasn't convinced, and he made sure the final word was his. This exchange wasn't just about policy, it was a masterclass in political theater and real-world consequences. Billions in oil revenue, hostage deals, and the future of the Middle East all collided in one fiery hearing. If you found this breakdown helpful, give the video a thumbs up and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Cruz was right to press this hard? Or was this just another DC showdown? And don't forget hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We bring you the facts, the fire, and everything in between.